right, guys, welcome to Lake Shasta. Day one of the WON Bass Lake Shasta Open, I think it's called. I need to figure out what this thing's called. But we're out here at Lake Shasta for the first Pro-Am of the year. WON Bass event, looking forward to it. We got a chance to make the Bass Nation National Championship, chance to make the Bassmaster Classic as a result of that. Pretty awesome thing that WON Bass made possible for us West Coast anglers. We're gonna go out here. We're gonna try to catch some largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass. We got all three species in Lake Shasta. Typically, you're gonna be able to catch a bunch of fish. So we got a long walk back to the boat, and gonna get out there, go fishing, and see what happens. All right, guys, we are officially on Lake Shasta. It's time to go fishing. I don't really have much of a game plan. I know what arm of the lake I'm gonna go into. I got a lot of waypoints that I imported from Google Earth this morning, and this morning was a fiasco. I'll tell you guys about that a little bit later, but mapping issues. Last night was a mess. This morning was a mess. We're getting a late start out here, but better late than never. First day of practice out here. I'm just gonna go up one of the arms, check out some of the waypoints that I have, check out some of the different ways things look. I haven't been here in probably 6 years or so. So it's basically like fishing a whole new lake. I'm excited to get out here. I'm excited to get that first bite, and I'm excited to come out here and try to catch 3-pounders, because 3-pounders are the key fish that you need out here on Lake Shasta. We made it all the way to the end of one of the creek arms, and we're just gonna work our way down. We'll spend the whole day in this one creek arm and just kind of see what we can find. I'm just gonna cover a lot of water with a crankbait at first, just to see if I can get something like that going. Because if I can cover a lot of water, you can put yourself in front of a lot more fish and hopefully have a chance at catching some bigger fish just by purely putting it in front of more fish individually. So we're gonna do that, see what happens. Throw spinnerbait, throw crankbait, throw a jerkbait, throw an Alabama rig at some point. But that's kind of the game plan for right now. Kind of see how things go, and then we will probably mix it up. If that doesn't work, probably won't give it a ton of time, but we'll give it enough to keep it honest. First fish on Lake Shasta on the shaky head. Dual mode shaky head with a 6-cent shaky worm. I don't know how big it is. These spots always fight really good. But out deep. It was out deep. Oh, it was a decent one. A little decent one. Not bad. Little Lake Shasta guy right there, guys. Not bad for the first one, but we're gonna need bigger ones than that. Pretty cool though. First one at Lake Shasta, baby. So that last one, I didn't actually feel the bite. It was just like a pressure, and I lifted up, and then eventually you can kind of tell that you have a fish. And once I started reeling on it, you could tell that there was fish there and started fighting. But it was kind of interesting how that fish bit. I was expecting more of an actual bite, like a traditional thump or something like that, but that guy just kind of inhaled it down there on the bottom, and we got to the boat. So first one, not bad. Got some more work to do. I don't know if it's worth coming up this far in order to catch that guy, but we'll see as the practice goes on. Well, it's been a tough start to practice so far. I've been fishing for maybe a couple hours or so, and just that one fish so far. It's been a lot tougher than I expected, but we got plenty of time. I think I need to pick up the pace a little bit, bounce around a little bit more. I went to the end of one of the creeks, and just wasn't really happening. It doesn't set up the way I think I like to fish. I don't really understand it very much. real narrow, real steep, bluff wall type stuff, and it just wasn't quite feeling right. I feel like I need to be like on a more main lake area, but that's probably just because I don't understand it up here. There we go. There we go. That was cool. That was cool. I think it popped out of the brush and this guy jacked it. There's a lot of brush in the lake. Decent. Maybe a 2-pounder. Nah, that guy ain't a 2-pounder. Let's measure him, just be on the safe side to see what he is. Little. The whopping 167. Not what we're after, but that's Lake Shasta for you. Well, it seems like they definitely want something on the bottom. I've thrown crankbaits, spinnerbaits, jerkbaits, and they're not biting those. And I was out in the middle of this cut right here, just throwing it into about, I don't know, 20, 25 foot of water, and got that little guy to go. Still want to keep pushing and trying to find some bigger bites. I'm hoping I can just find a spot that's got some bigger quality fish on it than those average size fish that I have been catching so far today. I think the first one was actually like probably a 2-pounder, which is all right, but I think it's going to be like looking for, you know, whether it's clay or rock or a certain type of transition bank. I think there's going to be something like that. There's going to be some sort of a pattern that I'm going to be able to hopefully find that's going to kind of separate just the massive lake that we have here at Shasta. Well, we got another one in the boat for the day. Definitely not the size we're looking for. We really want at least 2-pounders, preferably 3-pounders. 15 pounds will go a long way in this tournament. Usually does here at Shasta. There's always a random chance that somebody absolutely destroys them, but it's not usually like that. It's usually, you know, good bags are around that 15-pound mark. Solid bags are 10 pounds. And then there's gonna be a lot of like 8-pound bags and stuff like that. So we're really looking for those 2- and 3-pounders. And if we can find some, you know, 5s or 4s, those go a long way. They are in here. They're just not as prevalent as these smaller fish that we've caught so far.
What do you think of doubling this thing up like that?
Yeah, that's why I looped it kind of how I did. So. Well, good Samaritan day today. Found someone that was broke down out in the middle of the lake, way up the arm too. So we're gonna be doing a slow little idle back in, towing him in, trying to at least get to cell service, and then he said he's gonna make some phone calls, so we'll see how long that takes. Well guys, we cannot find a reaction bite. I've been thinking about tying on an A-rig, but I think I'm just gonna do that tonight and I'll throw that around tomorrow. The weather is super funky. It got like hot for a little bit, and then now the sun's going down, so it's starting to get cold. It's weird up here, that's all I can say. But I love this lake. It's super fun. I've caught a few fish, nothing to write home about, but this day has just kind of been funky. I got on the water late. I had some mapping issues. Last night I was trying to download my Google Earth stuff that I had done some research and plotted a bunch of stuff on Google Earth, and I went to go download it and I couldn't. So I was up till midnight trying to figure it out, and I did. I was able to actually get them onto my graph without the Hummingbird PC program because I have a Mac and it's not compatible with Mac. So if that's something you guys are interested in learning about, let me know, because it is a unique way to do it. I am successful at it. I do have my waypoints on my graph, so that's something that I'm happy about. Unfortunately, a lot of those waypoints are way too deep right now. Some of them are down to 100 feet, 75 feet. I know there's fish down there. I don't know if those are the right fish. We might have to play around with it a little bit before practice is over. But we got probably an hour left to fish out here before we got to go in and get to dark. But yeah, guys, Lake Shasta, we're doing it. Carolina rig fish on a rock pile. Little one. Little one. Little fat guy though. Little fat guy. Well, we got one on the old Carolina rig. Dual molded Boss Hog on there. Thumped it pretty good. Out off this point right here. Nothing too special, but it's always fun to get bit. Another one on the shaky head. Feels like a small one, but you never know. The head shakes feel a little bit small. Yeah. Yep, little one. They're fun though. These were getting bit out here. Well guys, you know I love to throw a Carolina rig, and honestly that seems to be like the most consistent thing. Whenever I just put it in my hand, throw it out deep and just bring it back, I get bit. I feel like it's more efficient than most of the things that I'm doing out here. I feel like it's a lot more efficient than the shaky head unless I'm able to get around an area and drop on their heads. But casting that shaky head and working it back just isn't very efficient. And I think that unless I can find a group of fish that's bigger, when it comes to the tournament, I think I'm just gonna have to, you know, jump spot to spot to spot to spot and try to put my bait in front of as many fish as possible in order to have the best chance at getting the quality fish.
Well, today was a lot of fun. My first fish came real close to the ramp on a Ned rig, just a 1/8 ounce Ned rig that Luna made me. And I had the 6 cents shindig on there. But I was fishing real shallow, I was getting some bites on a shaky head. And then I saw some fish down right like 25, 30, drugged that Ned rig down there, and that was probably my best fish, probably a little over 2 pounds. And then I ran way up in the Sacramento and did some trout fishing today. There's a lot of trout in there. I ended up catching a few small spotted bass, one small smallmouth up in there. And it felt like once I got out of the back of the creeks, I stopped catching fish. I'd get some short strikes, but it seemed like the bite was better for me anyway, kind of further back in the creeks. And caught some shaky head fish, caught some Ned rig fish. I ended up just switching to a heavy Ned rig, like a 3/8 ounce, because they'll short strike you a lot. And you'll get hit, and you'll try to jack them, and you miss them, and your worm's gone. So I just put a Ned rig on there, and ended up pinning a couple, and a couple on the free rig too. Just a little Kitech on a free rig. So we'll see how tomorrow goes. Tomorrow I'm probably gonna go up and, was it the McLeod?
Yeah.
The McLeod. One of us will probably go in the pit. One of us go to McLeod, and day 3 we'll leave day 3 open. I mean, if we don't get them and we got to go out in Main Lake, then day 3 I might end up fishing more Main Lake, because it seemed like that first better fish came right here. So if I can get better fish doing that than making a long run, that's probably what I'll end up doing. Hopefully I find them tomorrow. This is probably the most gourmet thing we've got for this week here. We've got some fried rice and some orange chicken.
Well, guys, long day today. Not even a long day out on the water. It was just a long day, period. Got up early to get out on the lake and ended up having some issues with my memory cards. I forgot last night that I had to download all my waypoints that I had done through Google Earth and put them onto the hummingbirds. That's a whole fiasco, but I already told you guys today that I got it fixed. And then I tried to download the Lake Shasta map for the front graph, because I have to have maps on the console and on the head unit at the front. And Hummingbird used to allow you to download each individual lake, but apparently that changed in late 2022, and I haven't had to download a lake in a long time. So I ended up having to download the entire West Coast that I don't need. That was one of the benefits of having Hummingbird units in the past, is that you didn't have to worry about that. You didn't have to download tons of lakes that you're never going to go to. Nevertheless, had to for this one, and I come up to the computer, do it in my room. The Wi-Fi is so good, it was going to take 8 hours to download the Lake Master maps for the Western United States that would cover Shasta. So I ended up having to go and just use whatever basic map they had on there. I thought it was better than it was. It was like 20-foot contour lines, which doesn't tell you anything. So the front graph didn't give me everything that I wanted to out there today, and I use that a lot when I'm out fishing, because you can kind of see some points. You can see those contour lines. You can see where it steepens up, where it flattens out, and a lot of times I like to target different contours in order to target fish that I think that might be there. Looking forward to eating. I'm starving. It's 8:43 right now, so got up at I think 6 and was gone pretty much all day long. Just finished rigging up. You guys saw me doing that in that blur of a scene, but had to do a lot of rigging, because you just never know what you're going to expect on the first day of practice. You might think you know, but you never know what's going on at the lake until you get here. And for both of us, the reaction bite just didn't really seem to be there. Maybe the ball head or something like that, but that's not really reaction like crankbaits and spinnerbaits and stuff like that. They were really tight to the bottom so far. 20 foot, 30 foot, 40 foot. That's pretty much where I was getting bit, is down deep. So I had to change up a lot of things. I was hoping to kind of be able to throw jerkbait, throw spinnerbait, throw crankbait, but I just don't think that's going to be the deal. The weather is going to be changing come tournament day, so you never know. We might have to adjust, and maybe they'll come up shallow to feed because of that weather. Well, I'm exhausted, so I'm going to see you guys in the morning. Time to eat some orange chicken fried rice, and we're getting back out there. Lake Shasta, day 2, tomorrow. See ya! All right, guys, day number 2, Lake Shasta starts today. Looking forward to getting out there. Got to find some bigger fish today. That's the goal. Launched out of a different launch ramp today, and just looking forward to getting out there and trying to catch some big spots. So the ramp was a fiasco this morning too. There were just boats everywhere. People ghost launch their boats and let them float around, which isn't really the issue. But then you have people going in to pick each other up, and then you have other people using the dock. We had a guide, and his client was holding the boat, and it was just like circling the dock instead of just holding it in one place. And then other people are launching, and then they're trying to get on the dock. It was a mess. I had to like leave my truck on the ramp for like 10 minutes, and I'm just like blocking people. Nothing I could do. There's nowhere to like beach your boat out here, so I get why people do the ghost launch thing. But I was one of the tail end of the people that were launching, so I didn't know if there was going to be someone there to just leave mine floating out in the abyss. But we got it done. We're on the water, and we're about to start swinging. There we go. First cast on the Ned rig. The old shindig. Six-inch shindig, dual mold Ned rig. First bass of the day. A little fatty. Little fatty. Little but fat. Hooked it good too. So this little 6-inch shindig is kind of a cool little bait. Not much to it, but it has these little claws or little tails or whatever you want to call it, and it's real subtle down there in the water. I think it's a really good bait. First cast on the shindig out here on Lake Shasta. Got him. One thing's for sure, guys, is that these fish are on the bottom. You can see some floating around and swimming around, but the ones that you can catch, it seems like, are on the bottom, and they want something on the bottom. They want something touching the bottom, dragged on the bottom, fishing it slow. You can kind of scope them if you want to, see them down there on the bottom and just kind of fish for them, and every once in a while get one to eat. But anything moving just seems to not be getting bit out here. Got him. Not bad. Got one. Well, I went to the end of one of these creeks again, and just to see, and it's beautiful up here. Crystal clear water all the way at the end, and just beautiful. And I'm just kind of pitching this jig rig around and got a fish where this little waterfall is. It's just gorgeous up here. The fish wasn't big enough to give me a reason to come up here in the tournament, but you know, for somebody that's from out of town, doesn't really know this lake that well, going to the ends of these creeks like this could definitely be something that could be a player. Just, you never know. I think there might have been some trout in this little area, and if there's trout, there could be big bass. So just doing something like that could just be something that separates yourself from everybody else that's fishing the main lake. Ha! I caught a trout, I think. Yeah! We caught a trout. Look at that, guys. We caught a trout. Stop, stop, stop. Slimy guy. Well, that was pretty cool. We caught a trout. I think I need to get out of this area though. Just doesn't feel right. I think if it was the right area, I would have caught more fish by now. Not sure if this is another trout or if this is a spotty. It's a spot. There's another one with it. There's another one with it. The old drop shot. Not gonna do it. Shindig got this one. Okay, it's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. Little fat one on the Ned. It's a better fish than those drop shot ones, guys. So the last time I was here, the Ned rig produced a little bit bigger bites for one of my co-anglers than I was getting on the shaky head. My best fish of that tournament came on the jig. So it's not so much a bait selection thing. I mean, it can be at times, but I don't think it is right now. But I feel like everywhere I go, I'm catching the same quality of fish, and I need to try to find some 3-pounders. You know, 2-pounders go a long way too. You just got to get away from those 1.5 pounds, 1 3/4. You got to find stuff that's over 2, because a 10-pound bag 3 days in a row won't be horrible. It's definitely not going to win you this tournament, but I think it's going to do probably better than people would expect, just because of the 3-day tournament. Some people are going to have decent bags and some people are going to have small bags, and it's just going to be, you know, one of those things where, you know, consistency will pay off, because it usually does in these kinds of tournaments where the weights are a little bit low. But if you can have one really good day, it can make for a really, really good tournament. Ooh. Well, we got one on the Alabama rig. I'm throwing the 6 cents movement 711 heavy. It's a really good Alabama rig rod. It's pretty sensitive for being a reaction bait rod, and it casts this thing really well. And then when I set the hook on that fish, it felt really good too. It had some backbone to really drive that hook home. I had like 3 hooks in that fish. There was 1 in its side, 2 in its mouth. It was like trying to eat the entire Alabama rig. Well guys, we ran all the way to the end of this creek arm, and it was kind of for naught. I didn't catch the fish we were hoping to catch up here. Caught a bunch of fish, just doing finesse stuff basically. Caught one on the A-rig, which was cool. It's nice to catch fish on stuff like that, but you know, I can catch more fish by finessing them than I can on that A-rig, it's obvious. The reaction bite for me just isn't really there, but we're gonna just keep bouncing around. I'm just trying to find something off the wall that might give me a really good tournament, because right now if I just go out there and fish, I can catch the same fish that pretty much everyone else is gonna catch. I just need to find something that's gonna set me apart. Well guys, we got the biggest one of the trip so far. The sad thing is it was only like a 2.5-er. We'll take that though. If we could get 5 2.5s, we'd have a solid bag at the end of the day for Lake Shasta. I think 2.5 is like 13 pounds, which 13 pounds would play. It's not gonna win, but it would play. Probably cash a check with that. So the 2.5s are what we're looking for. 3-pounders, 4-pounders. You know, I don't know exactly what to go do to try to target those fish. I've gone to the backs. I've now on Main Lake, and you know, I think I'm just gonna maybe fish a little bit deeper and see if I can get down to those 2.5, 3-pound fish. Maybe they're a little bit deeper than some of the fish that I've been catching. So maybe I'll run around through the Carolina rig a little bit more and see if I can't catch them in 50, 60 foot of water. Well, the Carolina rig was the deal today, guys. I got plenty of bites on the Carolina rig. You could pretty much go to most points and get bit on the Carolina rig. Now, I still haven't found the right size, but we're doing the best we can to kind of find some 2-pounders, a little bit better quality fish, but it's not happening so far. I gotta go run some errands before the stores all close up. So I need to go get a lock for my generator and need to go to the tackle shop. So we're gonna check in with Justin before the video is over, see how his day went, and see if we can't, you know, work together to try to figure out something to get some of those bigger fish.
Put them in their new home.
The Frog Master.
Frog Whisperer, dude. I called these in today. My buddies, I actually let them swim down, find the fish, and then they come up and let me know. Make them tell me where the fish are, dude. Don't tell anybody my secrets, dude. Served me well. All right, there's a lot of bugs in there for you, buddy.
Well guys, it was a kind of a long day out there. I felt like I went through phases where I was actually able to catch some fish. Went all the way to the end of one of the creeks and didn't get anything at the very end. It was super clear water coming in. And as I started working my way out, I started getting bit on a lot of the steep stuff and probably around like 20 foot of water. Nothing big or anything like that, but it was like consistent bites. It was, you know, every little tiny little pocket, every little point in all that steep kind of bluff walls, I was getting bit. Caught a lot of fish doing that. Left that area and never got bit again until I got basically out to the main lake. I think the Carolina rig is going to be a player for me come tournament time. One decent fish on it today. I need to figure out how to catch a 3-pound fish, and it's just not happening. I don't know what to go and do to catch that 3-pound fish. I think the backs of those creeks are going to be a player for somebody that figures it out. I just don't know what to do in order to get those fish to go. I did have one kind of like a weird bite. It might have been a big trout. I'm not exactly sure, but in that same area where I did actually catch the trout, something bit my bait, and it was big. I just don't know exactly what it was. I saw the flash, and I couldn't tell if it was a trout or bass, whatever. But it's definitely bigger than what I've been catching, but just don't know what it was.
Well, today was pretty decent for me as far as numbers. Went up in the McLeod. I really had to slow down and just drag. I was dragging the Ned rig, dragging a drop shot, and caught some decent fish, what I would say would be decent. I didn't really throw a lot of reaction today. Like, I think you're probably going to get a bigger bite on reaction, a rig and swim bait and stuff, but just look for that structure where deep water came up to the structure in about 25 to 30. 15 sometimes would be brush there, and it was pretty consistent whenever I could see if there was brush there. Even if I couldn't see fish on my active target, I'd just throw a drop shot, throw the Ned rig up there, and drag it real slow, real light. I felt like they ate it really good when they ate it, though. You know, it's hard to keep bottom contact, but obviously with the storm coming in, it's gonna be hard to drag something light like that. So I'll probably have to bump up my weights a little bit, but hopefully it makes the fish feed a little better and they get up shallower. I'm assuming fires them up. But better day for numbers. Probably about the same quality as yesterday, but no bigs.
Sounds like Justin and I are on basically the same fish, but we're doing two totally different things. I'm fishing points, he's fishing cuts, and neither one of us seem to be catching quality. So we got one more day of practice to go out there and try to figure something out. I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to do. I can't decide if I'm going to stay main lake or if I'm going to try to run to the end of one of the other cuts or what. I might go to one of the other arms that I haven't gone to yet, but I don't know, because I've done that 2 days in a row and it hasn't really done anything for me. But sleep on it tonight, make the decision in the morning, and we got one more day of practice for the WON Bass Shasta Open. We're fishing for a chance at the Bass Nation National Championship and the Bassmaster Classic. We got to find some fish, guys. I'll see you guys in the morning. See ya! Good morning, everybody. We are on the way to the boat right now. Just launched out of Bridge Bay, and I'm not gonna lie, this place is kind of a disaster to launch out of. Single lane, everybody's backed up, and it's kind of a mess. The parking kind of sucks, but it's the most like central location to launch at, but it is kind of a mess. Well, we made it onto the water. Time to go fishing. Final day of practice out here for the WON Bass Shasta Open, I think it's called. I don't know. I still haven't figured out the name of this tournament, but it's at Lake Shasta. Third day of practice out of 3. Looking forward to getting out here. Still need to find some better quality fish. Don't know how to do that right now, so we're just going fishing, just trying to see if we can't figure something out. Still got to get my GoPros all hooked up, but I just don't like to do that right next to the dock, so I like to get away so we're not blocking anybody. So here in a second, we'll blast off and go to the first area. There we go. Floating fly, guys. That's not something I fish at home. I think I caught a trout though. Floating fly trout. Oh no, it's a spotty. It's a spotty. Real light line on this guy. Real light line on this guy. Can't tell if he's has any size or not. I don't know. I think he's about the same as we've been catching. Maybe not. He's a little longer, it looks like. Number 1 on the day. Didn't take long. Well guys, first ever floating fly fish. Pretty cool way to fish. It's not something I do at home, that's for sure. I think the key is to be around some of these like bluff walls. We're gonna do this a little bit more. We're gonna go to some other areas and do this in a little bit deeper water. But there's some serious brush where I'm at right now. And maybe that fly sitting right over the top of that brush could be key. But if we get any good sized fish, I don't know how I'm gonna get them in, because they're supposed to be using light line with this technique. And I have a feeling they're gonna get into that brush, but I guess you gotta hook them before you can worry about that too much. It's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. Literally snag that guy in the side on the bottom. It's so weird. Well, I'd have to say I don't think that fish wanted the A-rig right there. I think it found the A-rig. I don't know how that happened like that, but whatever. Nevertheless, a few fish back here. The backs of these creeks have fish in them. They're not all the way in the back of the creek, but they have fish, you know, partially far back. Still can't seem to find above average fish, but I feel like I can come up here and catch some fish pretty quick. First area produced a few bites. It was kind of cool catching those floating fly fish, I'm not gonna lie. It's not something I do at home, so it's kind of nice to mix things up a little bit. Caught one on the shindig. I don't know if I put that on camera or not, it was a little guy. But yeah, I caught some fish, snagged that one with the Alabama rig, which was kind of a trip. But I'm gonna have to bounce around. I'm gonna idle out of this area. I have 5-mile-an-hour zone up here, so got idle out of here. And then I'm not sure where I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna start driving around, look for stuff. Might go across the lake to just look at something completely different. But if something strikes me in this arm, I will fish it. But I don't want to spend too much time up here. Well, we got one on the A-rig real quick. Take that guy on game day, a little 2.5-er. Well, guys, that dude knocked slack into my A-rig. Just all of a sudden felt nothing, and he had it. That was a good one. Take 5 of those a day, we'd have ourselves a decent tournament. Well, that's a wrap for practice, guys. The day's not over yet. We still got plenty of rigging to do. We still got the tournament meeting. But today was absolutely tough, man. It was brutal out here today. I don't know what the deal was. It was just tough. I couldn't get bit. It was weird. A lot of short bites. I'm not sure if it's like just a funky weather day, because we have a front that's gonna come through, and I don't know if it's just the pressure's still high right now, and then once it drops, they're gonna start chewing. Because usually these fish chew when you get that nasty weather. Tomorrow, big time change in weather for the tournament. It's been sunny and calm for the most part this entire practice, and then tomorrow it's gonna be rainy and windy, and we're looking at maybe getting an inch of rain, which is a lot when you're out on the water, you know, fishing. So rain gear is a must tomorrow. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the channel if you're new. We got Lake Shasta, day 1, Shasta Open for WON Bass. We got a shot at the Bassmaster Classic if we get in the top 5. we can make the Bass Nation National Championship. There's something right there that I can't see in the dark. Oh, it's a boat. But yeah, we're looking forward to getting out here. We're looking forward to going fishing. Trying to navigate where I'm going in the dark, and it's not that easy while I'm recording. But hoping to endure the weather. The weather is going to be a factor today, guys. At some point today, it's going to start raining. Got all the rain gear in the boat. Got to put my bibs on here in a second. Got the rain jacket in the locker. We will be putting that on at some point. It might be windy, and it also might rain pretty hard. That should fire these fish up, so hopefully we can catch the bigs. Let's go.
Boat 45, Matthew Land, thank you.
Let's go catch some spotted bass. Let's find some big ones today. Well, we're idling up to our first area that we're gonna fish. I decided to go to the end of one of the creek arms in order to try and maximize the ends of these, because if it rains as much as they say it's gonna rain, a lot of this stuff might get blown out by the end of today, definitely by tomorrow, because it's supposed to rain all 3 days of the tournament. So if you're gonna fish any of these areas, you better get it done today, or else it may not play, because it might be chocolate milk. There's one. Little guy. Well, we got one in the box now, or two in the box now. Two little ones that we're gonna need to cull out, but hey, we got two. Gotta start somewhere. There's one. I got it. Number 3. There we go. Little. Now we got 4.
I get 4 before we can get to 5.
That's a better one. Hopefully it's a better one. They're tricky sometimes.
Yeah, they do. They're real cute.
There you go. Little fat guy.
Football.
All right, well, we got 5 in the boat. 9 o'clock. Thought we actually were gonna get a limit faster than that, but take a limit when we get the limit. Usually on Shasta, you're not fishing for a limit, but you can't have a limit till you finally get them all. Such a 5-pound largemouth in here, dude. There's one. He's going cold. All right, so we cold our first fish, and good news is it was an obvious cold. Bad news is it's still our smallest fish, the one that we just cold with, but we're moving in the right direction. Now we just need a big one. There we go. Yeah. That's a better one, I think. I don't know, just, yeah, that's a better one. That'll cool, I think. Maybe not. No, I don't think so. Is that that's a mean mouth, yeah?
Oh yeah.
First area was productive. We got our limit, cold a couple times, but every fish we catch is like almost the same size, so I feel like we need to leave and go fish the main lake where I have some better, a little bit better quality than what we've got up here. It was a fun little bite up here, but I don't know if it's a timing thing. I don't know if it's a keep fishing throughout the day and eventually they'll turn on. That part I don't know, but I feel like we can go to the main lake and fish for some of those fish out there. There we go. There we go. That'll cool. I think. Well guys, we're culling ounces and we need to be culling pounds, but at least we're culling. Well guys, it got tough out here. We were on a flurry of fish here and there in the morning, but it got flat tough in the middle of the day like it has been in practice. We're gonna have to make some adjustments to try to figure out how to catch some fish because we need to cull. Well, we got 5 little ones for weighing. We got some around 9 pounds. We'll go weigh them in, see what happens.
So wait, 903, 903. Good job, Matt. Thank you. Big thing right there.
Well, we weighed 903. It's a start. Not a good start, but it's a start. I have a feeling that'll be middle bottom because I'm sure there's a lot of 10-pound bags and stuff like that. We'll see where we end up all said and done after the weigh-in, and I'm not sure what the problem is. I got like a bilge issue or a prop issue or something, but towards the end of the day I was having a problem getting on pad, and I turned the bilge on and I don't see any water coming out, so I'm assuming that means everything's okay with the bilge. There's not too much water, but with the amount of rain that we got, I would imagine there'd be some water in there, so I'm gonna have to check that out before I get out of here and shut it down for the day. Well guys, we sucked it up today. We're in 147th place out of like 155 with my 9-pound bag today. I'm not sure what to go and do to get those better quality fish. I don't know what to do to go get 3-pounders. 16 pounds is leading. The weights are super tight, so if I can figure something out tomorrow, like, we can change this tournament because of the weights are so tight. I mean, I'm gonna have to, you know, make up some ground, which is the norm anymore with my tournament fishing. But yeah, we're gonna go out there, we're gonna give them hell tomorrow, and hopefully, you know, stumble upon something a little bit different. I feel like the area I went to this morning has potential. There's trout in there. These fish eat the trout, and those fish are usually the bigger quality fish. I don't know if they just didn't fire very good in there today or something, but I feel like that area has potential. So I think I'm gonna go back there tomorrow and give it some more time and try to maybe, you know, cull some fish out of there and see what happens. Basically, I don't really have any other options. I gotta go where I know there's fish. I know there's fish in there. I've caught fish in there, and I know it's got the potential to have big fish because it's the end of the creeks, which is that is a thing. It's just not working out for me. But just gonna go fishing tomorrow and endure the weather again because it's supposed to rain all day again tomorrow. So this tournament's gonna be a grinder just because of the weather. It looks like we're gonna have rain all 3 days. So we're gonna enjoy that along with the tough fishing overall. I mean, we're catching some fish, but like, it's not as fun if you're just going fun fishing and you're catching a bunch of fish when you know that you're getting beat even though you're catching these fish. It's kind of a weird way to look at it, but we got some work to do tomorrow, so we're gonna go give them hell tomorrow and fish hard all day long and see what happens. Well, good morning everybody. It's another wet and wild one out here on Lake Shasta. We are launching in the rain and it's supposed to rain all day. Coverage might be a little bit off compared to how it normally is because I'm literally having to do manual batteries, no power pack in the rain. At least I haven't figured out how to do that. So we're doing batteries only today, so probably won't get everything on camera, but I'm gonna do my best to try to give you guys good coverage and good video for today. Don't know really what the game plan is. We're just gonna go fishing, go to where I got some bites where I think there could be big ones, and just kind of see how things lie. But I'm gonna get this boat in the water and we'll do blast off and get going, and then we'll get to the fishing. All right guys, well, it's about time for blast off. We're got a later flight today, so we get an extra hour of fishing time, which hopefully ends up being key because in practice we've gotten some better, the bite starts picking up in the afternoon. So hopefully that happens, and hopefully we can find some 3-pounders. Maybe we'll crack a bag, come in with 15 or something like that, and get back in this thing.
on. Is that 5? There we go.
Please. Please.
Oh.
Oh yeah. That's what we're talking about. Fish.
Yes.
Keep going, bud. We're not done.
Fat one. That's a good coal right there. Good coal. Like a 1.5 pound coal at least. Is slightly bigger. All right, guys, dual mold spinnerbait's going good today. Make these myself in the garage. Ultra minnow spinnerhead mold, light wire, gold blades. Catch them on this thing everywhere I go.
Good one. Check it out. Pull it up.
right, guys, well, we had a much better day today. We're probably around 12 pounds. We're gonna go find out. We got one that's like 3 pounds that's gonna really help out our bag. Hopefully it puts me back somewhere to be able to make a move and, you know, do something similar tomorrow and maybe get into that check range. I think it's gonna be tight, but I'm gonna have to go out and catch them at least as good as I did today to make up that ground. But hopefully I can maybe figure out a way to get 15 tomorrow or something like that.
All right, who we got now? We've got Matthew Luna, boat 45, official Chris Van Clef. Matthew had 903 yesterday, 5 fish today, total weight of, nice bag, 1210, so total of 2113, Matt. Good job, buddy.
Thank you.
And who's your daughter here?
This is Marissa.
Hi, Marissa. Thanks for coming on out and supporting your dad. All right, awesome job. We'll see you tomorrow, Championship Friday. You got it, Matt. All right, go fishing.
All right, guys, well, we weighed a total of 12 something, a little over 12 pounds, which is good considering we had 9 yesterday. Big improvement overall. Have no idea. That's gonna bump me up for sure. I just don't know how far. Hopefully a lot of people struggled today. I know there's some big fish weighed. I know there's some big bags weighed today, but that doesn't mean the whole field did that. So we're just gonna have to see later on tonight, see where we end up, and then come out here and fish hard tomorrow. You guys saw the spinnerbait was the deal today, and a crankbait. So I think what I'm gonna do is rig up a crankbait this evening. Obviously, I gotta make some actual spinnerbaits because I lost a few of them today, or they got mangled and stuff like that. So I gotta do some of that. Thankfully, I make my own, so I have extras just ready to go. I got the wires and heads all poured with eyes on, and I just gotta put the components on tonight. Not a big deal, pretty easy way to go. It's hailing like crazy right now. Good morning, another rainy start to our Shasta Open out here at Lake Shasta. Looking forward to going fishing though. It's the last day of the tournament, day 3. We got some work to do. It's been a rough one. Day 1 really put me behind the 8 ball. Only weighed 9 pounds on day 1. It came back, weighed 12 yesterday. So we need to crack them a little bit to have a chance at a check. I mean, 15 pounds would definitely put us on the brink of doing that. I got plenty of ground to make up. The biggest weights of the tournament so far are 16 something, or maybe there was a 19-pound bag, but bottom line is those fish are out here at Shasta. Haven't been able to figure out how to get those bigger ones to go. Found something yesterday morning that I'm hoping will play today. Gonna make a run, fish a little bit of stained water. Probably gonna throw a spinnerbait a lot. I'm counting on that spinnerbait to get us some good bites. And then after that, we're just gonna kind of go fishing and see what happens. We'll see you at weigh-in. I'm gonna do the best I can in all this rain and this weather to give you some good content. So we'll see how it goes. Let's go. Well, we just did the national anthem and a prayer. Calling boat numbers right now. We're late in those boat numbers, so we got a little out of weight. But this rain has just been relentless out here. Hopefully it's got those fish up and those fish want to eat.
For 115, Matthew Billy.
Stay warm, Billy! Well, we had one that was a big time rat in there, and we were able to cull that one out. We probably culled up by like at least a pound right there. Alright guys, I just missed having some cool shots on camera. Just we thrown an A-rig, caught 2 on one cast. They both culled, which was awesome. Not huge culls, but culls nonetheless. It's hailing like crazy right now! Crazy! Well guys, we screwed up big time. We ended up bringing in 6 fish, so that automatically DQs you. I realized it when we were putting our fish in the bag. I walked up. I knew that it was a DQ, so we just put our fish in the release boat, and then I walked up to DQ myself and got confirmation that that is the rules. There was a little bit of a mix-up that that's what the rule was, but I was pretty positive that that's what the rule was. So no way in for us. We got DQ'd for the day, and that pretty much blows my entire season for WON Bass on the first one on the last day of the first tournament. So that's a major bummer. So we're gonna bomb this one. I'm guessing we would have had 10 pounds, so we still wouldn't have cashed a check, but we probably would have moved up a couple more places in the standings. Pretty bummed. I've never done that before. I think it happened when I caught 2 at once on an A-rig, because we had a limit already, and I caught 2 fish on one cast on the A-rig, and I think that when that happened, I ended up only throwing 1 fish back rather than 2, because both of those fish culled, and that's how we ended up with 6 fish in the live well. I never even considered the fact that we could have 6 fish in the boat, because I was paying attention from the get-go that once we had 5, I was culling. So the only time I think that could have been the mistake was when we had those 2 at once on the A-rig, and I only ended up throwing 1 fish back. So that's how we round out our Shasta trip. Today was miserable, by the way, weather-wise. We got hailed on most of the day, rained on pretty much all day. This is freezing cold out here for me. I was cold all day. I'm not sure if I'm wet or if I'm just cold, but it was miserable from basically the time we got on the water until we got off the water today. Just freezing cold, and I'm just really bummed out about, you know, having 6 fish. But anyway guys, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this Lake Shasta series, and I'll see you guys at the next one. See ya.